Shalom Aleichem, and welcome to session number 9 of Intimate with the Infinite. I will now try and share with you some memorable experiences in my life that could be very inspiring. About 1968, I opened up an acrobatic restaurant in East Village. It wasn't kosher, neither was I. And then 5 years later, meeting the Lubavitcher Rebbe, I became kosher, Shabbos, the restaurant became that way, and interesting people came around. One of the most interesting characters that entered my restaurant was the greatest tenor sax player that ever lived, by the name of Stan Getz, who I later found out was Jewish. He came to the restaurant because his doctor recommended that he stick to a macrobiotic diet. It would be good for his heart and circulation and all the things. So he started hanging out. There was a bathhouse not two blocks away on East 9th Street. So eventually I started taking him with me to the bathhouse so we can have more conversations. And afterwards he would come back. Before he would have his supper or lunch, he would put on a pair of tefillin, and I would explain things to him about his roots, which he never really had much access to. And we developed a very friendly relationship, and I even have a picture of him and me sitting together in the restaurant. One day I get a call from a woman who was maybe his wife or his living partner, who was of Swedish royalty, who was taking care of him, making sure that all his bookings were in order and that he was appearing. And he unfortunately was on habit-forming medication all his life. And since he had making a living, he didn't have to steal. So I get a call from this lady, and she says, I want to introduce myself. My name is so-and-so, and I am the wife of Stan Getz, and I want to know, I want you to know that that yesterday Stan Getz didn't put on tefillin. I said, how do you know that Stan Getz puts on tefillin? How do you know this? She said, since he started coming to your restaurant, every time he came home, he told me about him putting on tefillin. And I noticed that he was acting differently, and more sensitive, more considerate, kind, patient. And yesterday he came home, he didn't say anything, and he was acting quite different. And I became suspicious. And I asked him, did you put on tefillin today? And he looked at me with this very sad look in his eyes. He said, no, I didn't. I didn't go to the Cauldron restaurant, and I didn't put on tefillin. So I said to her, what makes you wear? She said, I just told you. He's different when he puts on tefillin. And that's an experience that I never set up, or it was given to me and has remained with me all my life, because Stan Getz was my favorite musician. I used to listen to all his albums. Focus, Night Rider was my favorite. And he was a great person. He invited me afterwards to his acts in nightclubs, which I went to see him there. And we were in touch until he passed away a few years ago. Thank you.